this is Mark from I Am Organic Gardening, and today I'm going to show you why N.P.K is not the number one thing you have to worry about in your garden. It's actually very minute. In front of us we have a flat of eggplant growing and also a flat of tomatoes. There's two different varieties in there, but they're all grown in worm castings, at least 25% worm castings. Now you can look for yourself online. You will find the N.P.K value of worm castings, and I gave it a high rating of a 1.0. Usually it's a lot less, but let's take the average about all the information that's out there on Google, that it's at least a 1-point rating. So, which is not a lot compared to all the other things you see, like manure or chemical fertilizer. So based on that, I want to go forward on how just small amounts of this is required. It is not, you don't need a large number to actually have healthy plants. There's something else that is very important for you to see. So I want to show you this nice scientific report that was done by New Mexico State University with the help of Dr. Elaine Ingram also too. Now, what this shows you is a nice chart, and what you're trying to do in your soil, because things continue to grow and improve over the years, is how much fungus to bacteria, F to B, is in your soil. So what you're trying to achieve is at least a 1-to-1 ratio here. As you can see in the middle, that says late succession grasses and row crops. Now, and then underneath that one is vegetables. Now, the late succession grasses are also your corn. So you need a 1-to-1 ratio. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So you keep that in mind. So in this chart, we're going to see the three basics, or actually the four basic things that we're always taught that we need to see in our soil sample, or which is the most important thing that a gardener tells another gardener, that you should worry about your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your potassium, and organic matter in the soil. But in this chart that is done by the research of New Mexico State University, they graphed it. And they came up with very interesting results, that it's not so much all these four that is needed to do plant growth. Now, before in the other chart you saw a 1-to-1 ratio of fungus to bacteria. Now, what they did after all this and done with the graph is, this is how much nitrogen your plant uses. In anything, it should be at least a 0.8. 0.8 here. Now, nitrogen is only 0.001, so that's not that important. Phosphorus, a 0.041. Getting there, but it should be a 0.8. Same with potassium. Now, organic matter is at least up there. It should be, like I said, at least it hit a 0.1, but again, it should still be a 0.8. Now you can see here that they grew 6 different samples of, these are chili plants in a greenhouse. So they received the same amount of water, same amount of nutrients, which I showed you in the other chart, and same amount of temperature and same amount of growing time. Now the numbers on each one, just going from left to right, from top to bottom, shows you how much the F to B, how much fungal it is compared to bacteria. So this one is a 0.31 to 1. So this is 0.31 fungal to 1 bacteria. So the bacteria is more in the soil than anything else. This is only a 0.31. And you can see that the plants here are very weak. Now it's getting to that 1-to-1 ratio. So now it's a 1, meaning 1 bacteria to 1 fungal, or 1 fungal to 1 bacteria. Now when we increase the fungal activity in the soil, now we're at 1.72, 2.6. Now you can see how the plants are just growing, not getting more nutrients, meaning more available nutrients in the soil, but due to the fact that it has more fungal activity happening in the soil, making that plant healthier. Now that's also, it's bringing in more nutrients because there's more fungal activity. But you can see that it's more important to have fungal activity in your soil to bring those nutrients in than having the nutrients just sitting in the soil. You have to have the delivery system to that plant. So you can have all these small amounts of nutrients in your soil what I'm trying to tell you. If you do not have that delivery system of the fungal to bacterial ratio in your soil, then it's going to be difficult to get it to your plant. That's why a lot of people will put on so much amount of fertilizer, but it will never ever help your plant because you do not have the fungal to bacterial ratio high enough in your soil. So what you're doing, you're just overdosing it for a short period of time. It's going to grow well and then it will die off, and then you have to feed it again. You're constantly feeding it because you do not have the proper ratio of fungal to bacteria in the soil. Here's a copy of the soil test that they did on the last pot of the peppers. Now this is 4.3, and that was the last one on the chart. Now when you have that high fungal to bacteria ratio, over here it's recycling up to 300 pounds of nitrogen per acre. If you have that high amount, nitrogen is not leaving your soil like when you use any type of manure or any man-made fertilizer. It stays there. It keeps recycling it all the time. You need the fungal and bacteria in the soil to hold on to that and to grow that. And the way that is all done is by living roots feeding the soil all the time. So all these plants are doing very well for the simple reason is that it is plant available nutrients being delivered to the plants. Now, they're not using that much fungus and bacteria ratio yet, but when they go out in the garden, they'll need that because right now they're getting all their nutrients they need from that low amount of nutrients in the worm casting through the hairs on their roots. But that can only do the first part of survival. For them to go in your garden, they have to latch on or connect to that mycorrhizal fungi in the ground and other fungal bacterial ratio in the ground of that 1-to-1 ratio, and then you'll have beautiful plants. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions at all, please write them in the comments below. And I thank you very much for watching it today and taking time out of the day to do so. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. I'll see you shortly. Thanks.